Hello everybody, welcome to Inside A-State Esports episode 5. So last episode, we covered the biggest game in the world right now, which is Fortnite. But Fortnite actually doesn't have the biggest esports scene right now. But right now, I have the captain of the A-State League of Legends team, Stephen Holmquist here. And League of Legends is actually the biggest esports scene in the world. And it's perfect timing because right now, the World Championship's about to happen. And so there's a lot of buzz around the community. But League of Legends is a complicated game. So, Stephen, if you could describe what League of Legends is in a nutshell.
Yeah, so League of Legends is under the term, or the genre of game of MOBA, which is a multiplayer online battle arena. And so with these style of games, normally you'll work together with 3 to 5 teammates, and you guys will complete objectives, and with your characters that all have different abilities, work together and try and defeat the enemy's base. Whether that's through killing the enemy or just taking structures and gaining gold to upgrade resources and items. You'll have to work together strategically as well as make some outplays on your opponents to try and end the game.
You described that pretty simply.
Yeah.
And as a game, like I have a little bit of experience in MOBAs, so I kind of knew the basics, but there's a lot of intricacies to get to that next level. And so you tried to show me some of those intricacies and try to maybe get me a little better at the game.
You learn fast.
Yeah, so last week I caught up with Steven. We played some League of Legends, and did I improve? Well, you can see for yourself. Is jungling, how important is jungling? Because because when I first played, I don't know why I'm doing this, but when I first played, I liked the jungle because I like fighting, like PvE. I've always been a PvE person.
Yeah, jungling is one of the most difficult roles because you kind of have to be thinking about what's going on in all 3 different lanes at the same time, as well as trying to figure out where the enemy jungler is.
Okay.
So it's very mentally taxing, and you tend to get blamed if things go bad. If people die, it's like, well, our jungler didn't help us, so that's his fault.
Okay.
So our boy Zach, who's the jungler for the league team, has to put up with a lot of crap from us.
So I didn't realize jungler probably the most important role.
Yeah, it definitely in different stages of the game, I'd say different roles are the most important.
Mm-hmm.
Jungler and support, which is normally the one that plays bottom lane with the AD carry, their main goal is to set up plays and to help the team get vision. So the support has a whole item that is based on uncovering the darkness in the map. I think the most difficult part about this game when you're getting to learn is just the vast amount of characters you have to know what they do.
Yeah.
And because I think right now there's close to 150 different champions.
Okay.
And to perform at the highest level, you have to know what every single one of them does. Because if you play against one, you don't know what it does, you're just going to get smashed.
Yeah, because you don't know how to counter it or anything like that.
Yep. And so that just comes from lots and lots of time played.
And I think, with esports, I feel like every single game in esports has its own complexity, built in somewhere. So, Rocket League seems really simple, but they were talking about, flip resets where if you land on the ball.
Yeah, that blows my mind. I've played some Rocket League, and I just have to focus on hitting the ball in the net.
Exactly.
And they're just flying through the air. I've gotten to the point where I can do aerials, but it's the different how each esport is just complex in its own way, and you look at it and think, oh, I could do that, and then you try your hand at playing an actual game, and it's just okay.
Yeah, I think with League of Legends, I feel like the complexity is just more obvious almost. Because Counter-Strike, that's I guess my main game in terms of esports. You haven't played a while, different maps obviously, and so you have to learn the maps, and then you have to learn different
different call-outs.
Yeah, different setups to where you want to throw a smoke grenade off to cover Palace or something like that. So and then the complexity is learning those and how to make a good strategy. But I feel like here it's the game mode is so foreign. At the League of Legends is really, I feel like the game that brought this to light. And so it's there's not many MOBAs. There's tons of shooters. Rocket League's unique, but it's soccer.
Yeah.
So it's it's not a foreign concept at all. This is a complete foreign concept to people.
It's
in general.
crazy how popular it's gotten when, even as a spectator game, the people watch, and the number of spectators that it has rivals traditional sports.
Yeah.
And for a game that's so difficult, it just shows how much passion there is in the community for it.
Yeah, that's like, because you wouldn't think this game would be as marketable as it is.
Yeah.
But, like, it's the top esport. Like, Worlds draws, like 10 million, like tons of people.
It's crazy.
And so, and I, even though, like, I've watched multiple Worlds, like even back when I played, like, maybe 1 or 2 games, and, like, I didn't really know what was going on. But, like, it's just, I think the production has something to do with that, and, like, the casters, oh, no. But, like the casters, they're screaming and they're getting like hyped about something.
Yeah.
And I just I don't know.
I love the casters in esports. So the items will help you hit what's called your power spike, which basically your power spike is where you're the strongest. Your character is the strongest it is the whole game in comparison to the other characters.
Okay.
So like the character that you're playing, the item you just got right now is a pretty big power spike for Ash. So in a game, you'd want to try and fight right when you get that item. So you'll think about it, you'll be like, okay, so I've got this item, I can fight, unless you're really far behind, of course. You'll want to try and force a fight against the enemy team when you reach your power spike. So this is a team fight where everyone is kind of hitting everyone else, and it seems like
just like we won.
Madness, but
I think, are there still someone left alive? Should we focus on that?
They have a couple people left. They had to go back to base because they're so.
Okay, well. Oh, so that was the center. Okay, I didn't know. I thought that was just another thing we were taking down.
Yeah. Heck yeah. So this guy can his abilities will change what he looks like, and also give him different effects. Like he'll change into different creatures. Like he has right now he's a phoenix. He has a bear form as well. And a turtle form. Let's go! Easy peasy. Mix some magic.
Kill some minions, get my confidence back. Oh, the Husky, no! He heard me. He's I don't even want to fight him. Oh, he's coming for me. He's coming for me. He just took all my health in one fatal swoop.
Woo! Quadra kill. Can I get the penta?
I mean, he's mid.
Let's see. And of course, it's the Husky.
That's the Huskies, the final boss. He did away with me quite quickly.
Can we? Oh no, he's running. Come back. I don't think I'm gonna get him.
No.
Aw, unlucky. Couldn't quite secure the penta. I got it! Let's go!
What?
Nice. I think we're about to win. Woo!
Just gonna continue attacking this. Yeah.
I'll let you have the final kill. Let's go.
3 and 13 or 14 or something, but I got the Husky. It's all that matters. Well, what a nice way to finish off that highlight package with your pentakill. Yep. I know we were really excited about that when it happened. So, in general, the first question I usually ask when I play, with the Fortnite team, when I play with the Rocket League team, I asked, how did I do?
I was very impressed, actually, because League of Legends is a really high skill gap between having no idea what you're doing and actually being competent. And I mean, you were playing like you'd played for months. And
really?
I was pretty impressed. I'll give you that.
Man, maybe I should have stuck around and played more.
You should. I mean, if you ever want to play, let me know.
All right. I mean, I still have it downloaded on my computer, and it's just it's something I touch it maybe once a year. I feel like just when some friends are deciding to play. But I don't know. MOBAs are a genre of game where I feel like it's the most complex, and it is interesting that League of Legends, like we're talking, they just they broke their own record after Fortnite broke it in terms of concurrent viewership with 4 million in the semifinals.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was an awesome game, though.
Yeah, and it's such a popular game, and it's expected to break 100 million total viewers this year. So, what do you think it is about the game that it's so complicated and it's not probably the easiest thing to watch?
Yeah, no, it's definitely not a Rocket League or a Fortnite where you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, that person made a play by scoring a goal, or that person made a play by killing the opponent. You know, for League of Legends, a lot of the complexity comes in the thought processes behind your moves. You know, like you plan a move 5 minutes ahead of time, and then when you actually execute it and you end up killing the enemy team, it feels really good for someone who's played and knows what's going on. Someone who knows about it can look, but as someone who doesn't know anything about it, it can definitely get a little bit confusing.
Okay, and yeah, like I mean, when I watch like Worlds or whatever, like I know when something's big if the commentators, you know, they get super hyped.
He's doing this, he's doing that.
Exactly, the commentators get super hyped, and I think part of that is probably Riot Games, the developer of League of Legends. I think they were the first real developers that really backed their own game as an esport.
Yeah, they released a documentary about their growth into esports, and it was pretty cool to see all the different effort that they put behind it and how much they cared about providing a good experience to the fans who are not only there but who are watching, whether or not they understood the game or not.
Okay, and so moving, like I just talked about Riot, you know, they're supporting the esports scene, but they're also pretty supporting the collegiate scene as well.
Yeah.
So moving to the collegiate scene, talk to me right now of, well, first, because I know you were talking about earlier that Riot hosts their own collegiate tournament in the spring. So I guess we'll talk about that first.
Yeah.
What to look forward in that, like how that'll work for A-State.
Yeah, so for the collegiate tournament, there's hundreds of different teams that end up going to play, and it all takes place online, and each team is separated by region. They'll play their own pool play at their region, and then the top teams from each pool will move on to a knockout stage. And so then the knockout stage will get smaller and smaller until there's 4 teams left, and Riot will actually provide a flight to Los Angeles to their studio where the professionals play, and those top 4 teams will play each other. And last year the prize pool was $100,000 of scholarships. So the team that ended up winning, Maryville University, each player got $20,000 of scholarships for being the best in the country at this game.
That's huge. But I mean, at the same time, like, I mean, it's, you know, we talked about the skill gap, and so much time is taken from, you know, first understanding the game, and then going from understanding the game to actually, like, you know, learning the intricacies that we were talking about and getting to the next level where you can compete competitively. Like, you were talking about how, you know, the highest ranked player on the A-State team is like top 2,500. So, you know, that's a lot. You have 2,500 people, and they might not be a college student.
Yeah,
you know,
that's correct.
But, you know, you said, like, I believe Maryville, like every player was in the top 200.
Yep, because like the highest ranking you can achieve is called Challenger, and that's the top 200 players in the nation. And so for one team to have 5 of the top 200 that are also in college, even this year they're pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, and so talk about what's going on right now. So you guys are playing in, I believe, it's TESPA preseason?
It's a Collegiate Star League.
Okay, Collegiate Star League preseason. So what is that tournament looking like? Where can we watch you guys?
Yeah, so right now we're 5-0 in our bracket. And so we have one more game of bracket play, which should be our hardest, and we'll be playing this Saturday, 2 o'clock, twitch.tv/Arkansas State, and we'll be playing the University of North Texas. And so the CSL organized a tournament, and we'll be playing for some sort of scholarship total. Nowhere near what Riot can offer, but it's still a really good place for us to test our skills and learn about the kind of competition we're going to be seeing, as well as the types of strategies and team comps that we'll want to pull out in the official Riot tournament. Okay, and talk to me really quickly about the new HQ. Like, you guys are always in there. That's where you play your games after I see you review demos. So how important is that new HQ to you guys becoming a better team? Man, we have not lost a game in the HQ yet as a League of Legends team, so we definitely have that HQ buff, we call it, that gives us a little bit extra power. And it's really cool to be there with your teammates rather than just talking to each other online, being able to see them. When someone makes a really dumb play, we can look down the line, and you see them, they've got their hands in their head. That was me last night a couple times, but it's being able to be there in person and to learn and get better with the team there is really awesome. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing it myself. The grand opening, I believe, is next Tuesday, November 12th. Correct. On our final episode of Inside A-State Esports, we will be having a tour so November 13th, that'll come out. So make sure you tune in there. It'll be our series finale of Inside A-State Esports. So make sure you see it. Thank you so much for joining us today, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, and it's been a great series. Had lots of fun, but we'll see you next Wednesday.